Ace and Shelby on.
Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
In the podcasting life, they must fight to survive, shackled by the chains of the past. They're the biggest of geeks, cause they watch every week. Subscribe to see if they can last. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We can't ever stop. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We will podcast till we drop, probably forever. Dino Child, yeah, whatever. Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Dino Charge.
Hello and welcome to Ranger Danger Dino Charge. This is a podcast where we watch episodes of Dino Charge so you don't have to.
I don't think that's...
But you should, because it's actually pretty good.
That was a confusing, mixed message in the opening.
I mean, they don't have to, right?
Well, that's true. They don't. Well, they didn't have to anyway.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
We're not really saving them any time. We're just providing additional joy. We provide additional joy.
We provide
on
additional
top of
joy.
episodes of Power Rangers.
And we keep the bands on air.
I think that's a good... I like that. We provide additional joy. We're going to put that on t-shirts.
Little joy booster pack.
Anyway, this is episode 815 of Power Rangers. Episode 6 of Dino Supercharge.
Correct.
And it is called Forged Under Fire.
Uh-huh.
So, no real news to talk about this week. Tim, we talked about last week, you weren't here.
Yes.
The Power Rangers movie has started filming.
PRM, Power Rangers movie.
I think they're just going to call it... Oh, its official title is Saban's Power Rangers.
Boy, someone sued someone over that.
I think that he just desperately wants his name on everything.
God, that's weird, right?
No, he's that guy.
Yeah, I know, but that's weird, right?
It's like Marvel's The Avengers.
No, it's not.
Although in
Marvel
that case,
isn't someone's name.
That was for... Well, Saban is also the name of the corporation.
No, I know that, but Marvel isn't a man's name.
I mean, there might be someone called Marvel.
Not who owns Marvel.
That's definitely true. That man's name is... I don't actually know what that man's name is. Ike Perlmutter's in charge, and he's on the same level of asshole as Haim Saban.
Maybe it just is required of you at the top of a big company.
I mean, it might be.
It certainly seems that
They're
way.
both, I think the same age, and I think they're both Israeli. I might be making that up about Ike Perlmutter. There might be someone else who I'm thinking. Might be thinking of Avi Arad.
How old are they?
60s, 70s,
Maybe people that age are all assholes.
That's certainly possible.
Caveat, people that age who own companies are all assholes.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay.
Additional joy.
Anyway, not a lot of news this week.
Okay.
But because you didn't watch last week's episode,
yes,
it's definitely... Last week's episode was insane.
Okay.
Remember how we watched one 2 weeks ago?
And it was kind of whack?
That was great and also kind of crazy.
Uh-huh.
Last week's was even more bonkers than that.
All right.
Okay, so let's do our segment... Previously, things happened on Dino Supercharge. Woo!
It needs work.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that it's finished.
Okay. We're workshopping it.
Alright, so let's think of... I'm trying to think what the most important points were. Okay, Tyler got infected by a virus.
Like a mundane virus?
No,
or
his Dino Charger got a computer virus on it. By one of the monsters called Ninja. He, sped down and put a computer virus on it.
What do you mean sped down?
Ninjas was super fast.
Okay, sure.
He was a super fast monster.
So he sped down, up, down to where they were?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, virus.
Okay, sure.
So Kendall was developing a new Dino Charger for him.
Because of the virus issue?
Okay, let's start this from the top.
Seems like in attempting to give me the important cliff notes, you skipped some things.
Okay, Kendall was developing a new Dino Charger for Tyler.
Okay. Just for Tyler?
Yeah. It could only run on red energy.
Sure.
Which is a thing that has happened in the past of this show.
All right.
But he's also,
bullshit.
Yeah, anyway.
It's fine.
So, while they were doing that, Ninja, who was a monster...
sped down.
He sped down, and he put a virus on it.
Boop.
So
Wait, on the new one?
Yeah, onto the new one.
Oh, sketchy.
So when Tyler tried to use it, he got infected by the computer virus.
A person caught a computer virus?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
A morphed person. And he started thinking he was a T-Rex. And when I say that, Tim,
no, it's fine. It needs no explanation.
I mean the arms. I mean his head became a CG helmet that like pulled open and roared a little.
Well, hang on. Did he think he was a T-Rex, or was he a T-Rex?
I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Oh, God.
He also could climb very fast.
That doesn't make any sense.
Noted feature of T-Rexes. He tried to eat Kendall.
That makes more sense.
This is all while morphed.
Yeah, fine.
Also, before that had happened, he'd shown the other rangers a place he used to go camping with his dad.
Okay.
And they had like a buried cache
Uh-huh.
where every year they'd go on Tyler's birthday and put something in it.
That's very lovely.
His dad is obviously still missing.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd gone and like buried something else with all his friends. Instead of going with his dad. So then Tyler's all like crazy. And no one could talk Tyler down because he's like angry and thinks he's a T-Rex.
Yeah, sure.
And then the Aqua Ranger shows up.
Oh, wow.
And the Aqua Ranger is his dad.
There it is.
Who has still not a good excuse for not being there for the last decade.
What was the reason?
Well...
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool. All right.
Yeah. You know...
yeah, sure.
There was a whole thing about how he was a Power Ranger and so he couldn't tell Tyler... why. Look...
Yeah, but all the other kids still went to school,
that's
so...
the thing. Lots of explanations, but none that really justify his shitty deadbeat dad.
Yeah, like very worst, he's just the kind of flaky dad.
It did feel a little like he maybe was just, like, not that into it, and then he was like, oh, I'm a Power Ranger now.
I mean, you expect your dad to be working 9 to 5 anyway.
Yeah, look, we covered a lot of shit like that last week. I'm hoping we get a better explanation.
What's Tyler's dad's name so I can be properly disappointed?
Tyler's dad is James.
James.
Oh, and
Jimbo.
Tim, because the Energems make you immortal, that's a thing that had been established. When you bond to an Energem, you're immortal until you're unbonded to one.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense.
Right? Because of that, he hasn't aged.
Yeah.
So Tyler's dad looks about 6 weeks older than him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, oh, holy shit. You think that's a lot. Then,
I do think that's a lot, you're right.
Kendall fixed his new charger.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, instead of me explaining it to you, I think I'm just going to show you a video.
Yeah, sure.
Look, if I can be honest, I'm not going to do it justice.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to pause now, and
Yep.
I'll show you a video, and then we'll come right back.
All right.
Ranger danger, Ranger danger.
So what did you think?
Shit, yeah.
So I showed you the transformation first,
Uh-huh.
and you said to me, so does it shoot lasers?
Yeah, which I think is a fair response because it's a cool new outfit, but at that point it was just a cool new outfit.
And then I showed you the fight scene.
Yeah, with the dinosaur scissor kick.
I think it's pretty obvious that all it does is shoot lasers.
Yeah.
But it shoots T-Rex themed lasers.
I mean, understandably.
I mean, it's insane. And it's another power-up in a show that really didn't need another power-up.
No, but unlike last time, I'm on board with this one.
Sure. Can I tell you, it's got another level of batshit that goes on top of that.
That you've seen
That
or that's
I'm
coming?
aware of.
Right.
That wasn't in last week's episode. I suspect it may be in the next couple of weeks. So I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
But if we get to it this week, what you saw there, child's play.
Jeez Louise.
All right. So I guess we're going to get started on Forged Under Fire.
Let's do it.
What do you think is going to happen?
I suspect Satan is coming back. What was his name?
Oh, Singe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was around last week, but not like... He's kind of taken over Fury's role. And
In being a
also,
pal.
Fury is still there.
Yeah, I mean, that's awkward.
Yeah, it's got to be rough for Fury.
Kind of the other woman situation.
It's like in that week when you have to train your replacement.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're on the way out, but
you got to be there.
you've got to be there still
Yeah.
anyway.
Heavy days.
Yeah.
So I suspect Singe is coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing else springs to mind.
No,
Do you have any thoughts?
It's not a particularly obvious episode title.
No.
I don't know.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will prove to be.
Alright, I guess let's go watch that. Let's hope we see the T-Rex supercharge insane. Oh, in Japan, that mode is called Carnival Mode.
Yeah, nice.
It's a better name than T-Rex supercharge.
It is a shame he has to say T-Rex supercharge
A lot.
at the start of every movie.
Did I show you the supercut of them saying Super Mega from
Yeah, you
Power
did.
Rangers Super Mega Force?
Correct.
I'll put a link to that video in the show notes. I suspect you could do one this season that's just Dino, because the number of times they say Dino.
Yeah. Oh, well, they gotta sell toys.
Anyway, we're gonna watch Forged Under Fire.
Yes.
You can too.
Yes.
And we will be back in a second.
Absolutely.
Ranger danger, Ranger danger.
You remember how I promised you that he'd have a new mode and it was even more insane?
It was even more insane. Jesus.
Oh boy. Do you want to talk about that up front, or will we get to it when we get to it and start at the top?
Let's start at the top. We'll get to it.
Okay. So Tyler and James are doing some family bonding.
Yeah.
Morphed.
Yeah, that seems like an abuse of power.
I mean, I don't know about an abuse of power. It's not like they've gone to the carnival and used their Power Rangers strength to win all the prizes. But it is a bit like, why not just wear clothes?
Yeah, why not just hang out
It feels
people.
It feels like a cheap way to establish really clearly that those two are two Power Rangers who are also related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just gets us right around that by going,
Which
hey,
I guess
it's
is
them.
I guess is fair.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they just, they're having some bonding.
Just hanging out, just dirt biking on the beach.
I mean, I guess if Dad was a Power Ranger and we were Power Rangers, I'd chill with Dad as a Power Ranger.
I don't know about that.
No?
It's not quite as weird as going on a date as a Power Ranger. Which
No.
will forever be the weirdest. So I'm not gonna, have too much of a dig. But it was a little odd.
Yeah. So, on the evil spaceship,
Yeah.
Singe.
Singe has Zoltag rings.
Zotac rings.
Spell it for
I
me.
think Zotak, according to
Okay, I had ZOTAG, sorry, but that's
yeah,
fine.
something Zotag rings.
Yeah, and he kept them on a pole,
Yeah,
which
just
was.
wrapped around a stick.
I mean, it was odd because that.
It felt like it was a magic pole.
And that object never showed up again.
No.
And they showed up as individual rings.
Yeah.
So why not show them as a handful of rings?
Or show the dispenser thing that he's got on his wrist in the rest of the episode. Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever.
So these neutralize the power of everything they surround.
Correct.
Up to and including the energems. So if they get them around the energems, the Rangers
Job
can't
done.
morph.
So, pretty good
Then they
plan.
still have to get them, but the Rangers are basically just regular people at that point.
We're just
so,
taking necklaces off teenagers at that point.
which is a step up from Candy from a Baby, but
A
definitely
step down from, Power Rangers,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. But Heckle, he doesn't want to celebrate because that's a plan, and we're not
Yeah.
celebrating until the plan is done.
Which is sensible.
Yes.
But I don't love his attitude because what he says here is your crazy plans aren't worth anything without results.
Yeah,
Which is fine. Again, that's fair enough. But maybe if anyone's crazy plan had longer than 22 minutes to play out,
Sure.
we'd have more luck.
that's fair. So back in the base is full because literally everyone is there.
Yeah,
for the first time in I think ever. So Ivan and Riley are sword fighting.
Yep.
And then Ivan wins and he says, "Speed isn't everything, Sir Riley." And those two are gonna fuck, right? It's pretty gay for two characters who aren't gay. Matt and I headcanoned a long time ago in the first season that Riley was the gay Power Ranger.
Yeah.
But those two together, I mean,
The gay Power Rangers.
it feels a little bit like that.
I mean, he's pretty hot. He's a knight from the
Look,
past.
I'm gonna say, if you had to date a Power Ranger who was a man, definitely I'd be going for the one who was an 800-year-old knight.
Because it's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. Anyway, Coda has his shirt off.
For
and
no reason.
That is somehow less gay than those two.
Yeah, for no reason.
I think just Coda is, perfectly comfortable without
That's
his
what I
shirt
was
on.
thinking. He would just be more comfortable just chilling out.
He's doing a cave painting on just a bit of rock, on an easel.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do?
I mean, on one hand, excellent, as everything to do with Coda always is. On another hand, they could introduce him to canvas.
No, I don't think they need to.
if he's happy with the rock, then that's fine.
Although I do wonder why he doesn't, like, paint the walls of the hideout.
Yep.
Like, I feel like he's not just slamming crap up. Like, he did a nice painting.
He has
of a
another
mammoth.
room where he has cave paintings on the walls.
Oh, really?
Like, his bedroom is a room in that cave.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
I guess.
Well, because he's a cave person, so he doesn't have, like, a house to go back to, like, presumably the rest of them have.
No, but, like, he could room with someone.
No, but he would probably be comfortable living in a cave.
I guess. I hope he is. So the thrust of this scene is they haven't told James anything about them yet.
No, fuck all. He's got no
And
information,
There
clearly.
is so much for him to take in.
Well, honestly, it's just a few little, like, hey, by the ways.
I mean, here's the thing. Once he's already absorbed the Energem made you immortal, which he must have, because he must have noticed that he hasn't aged in the last decade.
Yes,
The
logically.
idea that someone else found one a while before you,
And had the same thing happen to them.
like, that doesn't sound super ridiculous.
No, but also you don't expect to meet a caveman and an 800-year-old
No,
knight.
when, like, one of them is your son, you kind of imagine, oh, and my son's just regular teenage friends.
Yeah, me and my kid doesn't extrapolate to an 800-year-old person and a 100,000-year-old person.
Yeah. So he grabs Ivan's sword. He's like, this is a great replica Xandar sword.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivan gets so offended
Fair enough.
that anyone would think it was a replica.
I think that's reasonable.
And Ivan says to him, no, the Prince George gave it to me. He's like, yeah, Prince George. And next you'll tell me that guy is the Prince of Xandar. And the camera spins over to Prince Philip.
Who is
the Prince of Xandar.
So, you know.
An excellent way to reveal that Prince Philip is in this episode.
Yes.
Because we've seen him, like, maybe once or twice this season.
And
very little.
It's far nicer to see him introed like that than if
Yeah.
he was just standing around.
That was a really nice little beat. So anyway, he's definitely got a lot to take in. As Chase points out, he and Tyler look more like brothers. Mm-hmm. The actors are 26 and 28.
God, really?
So he's a little older, but, like...
They look further apart than that.
Yes. The guy playing Tyler is definitely playing it younger,
Yeah.
too. And, like, in photos on his Twitter and that, when he grows, like, a bit of a beard, he looks much older than he looks
On
on
Dino
screen.
Charge, yeah.
But definitely it doesn't look like there's a lot in their age difference.
What is their age difference? Do we
We're not
know?
really sure. We know that James went missing a decade ago, and Tyler was about 8.
Yeah, but we don't know how old
old
James
he was.
was.
He was old enough to have an 8-year-old son,
That's true.
so possibly he would have been in his mid-20s at the, like, youngest,
Yeah.
which means he's still in his mid-20s.
Yes.
So he'd be, like, maybe 8 or 9 years older than Tyler.
Which isn't unbelievable, like,
No.
visually.
They could, like, yeah, the maths kind of works out if you fudge it a little, but anyway. So, meanwhile, Kendall is doing some science.
Mm-hmm.
She's working on the T-Rex supercharger to make it batshit insane.
Correct.
But we'll get to that in a sec, because it's time for a flashback!
Dusty Dad flashback.
So this is James is going to explain to us now
Mm-hmm.
why exactly he hasn't been around for 10 years.
Yep.
Alright, so basically, there was a cave-in when he was with Rusty.
Which we've seen already.
Yes,
we've
we
seen
knew
that
about
footage.
the cave-in. And then he was trapped by some falling rocks.
The dust settles. He can't move.
Yep, but he can find, right in front of him, the Energem.
God, that's fortunate.
It is, especially because we know that from... Oh, you weren't here last week.
I wasn't.
Rusty came back.
Oh, really?
And he recognised the Energem around... You remember when he
Yes.
saw...
Yes.
So Rusty came back and that actually did pay off.
Yes.
But I don't know how Rusty recognised the Energem
That he never saw.
that he never saw. Unless, I guess you could say that James, like, stopped by to let Rusty know he was still alive.
Or just that... Well, that would explain why he didn't say anything, really.
Yeah.
But then why would he go like, oh, your dad's probably dead?
Yeah.
Maybe it was like 1 year into that 10 years.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
9 years had passed and he's not shown up. It's like, oh, well...
It's not my place if he hasn't.
Yeah, but if, like, the dude was alive and 9 years later... Like, I know he was alive, but 9 years later he hasn't showed up.
Yeah.
Maybe he's run for the hills.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, so he finds the Energem, and then he's immediately attacked by Fury.
Literally right then.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that doesn't trip you out, I don't know what does.
The thing is, there's some degree of precedent for that. Like, Riley found his energem and was immediately attacked by Fury. So, Fury...
But is it just a coincidence, or is he can he only know when someone picks it up?
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, so Fury, attacked him.
Yes.
And he managed to run away and get away from Fury.
That's correct, he did.
But Fury kept chasing him.
Like, he could smell the energem.
And so, James's argument is basically, if I went back to my family, Fury always seemed to know where I was.
He would have put my family in danger.
So I couldn't...
Which I'll buy.
I mean, I guess... here's the thing.
He's not a Power Ranger, though.
Yeah.
At this point. So what's he going to do about it?
Well, he can morph, though. Maybe.
Can he?
I don't know.
He's just got a rock. That never gets
Sure. Here's what we've seen in the past. People get their energem.
Yeah.
Once you get... The energem doesn't bond with you until it knows you're the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Once it does, in your hand you get a fossilized version of the morpher that updates itself into a modern version of the morpher. You can morph. In theory, there's no reason James shouldn't have been able to morph.
Right, okay.
It's not like a thing that they had to discover.
Yeah.
We've seen Rangers do it without knowing it's a thing they can do.
Okay.
I just wish he'd have gone to his family and, at least told them what was going on. At least send them a letter.
Yeah, actually.
Or, at the very least, go to Rusty and say, listen, Rusty, I need you to tell my family that I've died. Right? Just tell them there was a cave-in, I got trapped.
Yeah, but that assumes there's no resolution.
Yeah, but, James is not assuming... The only reason that he showed up last week is because he found out by accident that his son was a Power Ranger and was like, right, okay, now we can just...
Things are a little different.
Things are cleared up.
Yeah.
He didn't know... He wasn't planning on doing that. So why not just... Why leave
But so are we assuming that Fury was still hunting him?
I guess.
Just in his downtime and we never saw it?
Yeah. I'm willing to accept that. Or, in the last year and a half, right, that's when
They've been
Fury
busy.
has let up. Because the other Power Rangers have all showed up. So that's when he started to, investigate these other Power Rangers.
Doesn't really make sense to go for, 8 when you can go for 1, though. It does as a risk-reward thing, but it's just 8 guns versus 1 gun.
I just think he should have told his family he was alive or dead. Leaving them in limbo seems cruel.
No, but I can understand how you end up in that place by, making poor judgments.
I guess.
Because you don't quite want to do either thing, and you end up stuck in the middle.
Sure. Okay, so, here's what happens. There's alien biosigns.
Approaching the cave.
No, that's a different thing later. This is just Hunter has showed up.
Oh, right.
Now, Hunter was an extra monster last week who escaped.
Right, okay.
So he's this show is doing some good things in the field of not just being self-contained.
Yeah.
This is very much a sequel episode to last week's episode.
Yes.
So Hunter shows up, the Rangers go down there. Philip and James have to stay behind because Kendall's using their energems at the moment.
Yep, they're still transmuting.
Yep, which is fine. So Singe is down there.
Correct.
And while the Rangers fight Hunter, he's like, alright, I'm going to do my thing.
Yep.
And then Fury shows up. And
just to be a dick, it would
just to
seem.
be a dick. Singe calls him a blundering Badinsky.
Yep.
Is that... Have you ever heard that expression ever?
No.
It's just...
Is it the bad sequel to Big Lebowski?
The blundering Badinsky.
Yeah. Or is it a shit knockoff rather than a sequel?
Oh, that's the sci-fi original version.
Yeah.
That's the transmorphers of the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, exactly.
The blundering Badinsky.
No, I have to say it's not something I've ever heard before.
Okay.
It's not something I would even chance it to spell in order to Google it.
It's definitely something that I'm going to use from here on out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fury shows up just to be a dick, Magna beams himself.
Yeah.
But as he does, Singe puts some Zotac rings on his horns.
Yep.
So Fury is now large. I was kind of hoping that this would do something horrifying to Fury.
Or at least it would fizzle the Magna Beam.
Yeah.
But no, he was just large and...
Doesn't have all of his powers.
Which isn't a visible thing in any way. No. He's just behaving a bit lamely.
Yeah, this was a bit disappointing. Anyway, as Shelby says, he's playing cat and mouse. And we're the mice?
Mm-hmm.
That's not normally a part that you need to add to that expression.
No, I think it's more or less well understood.
Yeah. He's the giant one playing with 5 tiny dudes.
Have a guess which one he is.
Yeah. So they summon the Megazord, and everyone except Tyler's going to get into that. Tyler's going to go into his T-Rex supercharge.
Yeah, because it's sick and he just got it, and that's fair enough.
Yep, and he'll take out Hunter.
Makes sense.
Now,
it's actually a good plan.
Well, Tim, it's not. And here's the reason.
Okay.
So, as part of the T-Rex supercharge mode, Tyler's Zord becomes like a gun and then merges with him.
Yeah.
Tyler's Zord is also in the Megazord right now.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Is it actually Tyler's Zord?
Yes.
Confirmed for sure?
Well, what do you mean? What else would it be? We watch him throw the Energem into it and it shrink.
Yeah, but maybe that's... Like, that whole morphing sequence, I think we have to accept doesn't actually happen right there.
I'm not sold on that.
Well, no, but, like, not his specific one, the morphing sequences in
Okay,
general.
sure.
We have to agree they exist in a kind of extra-dimensional time pocket.
Yes.
Otherwise, it makes no fucking sense,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So, if that's the case, who's to say that that is specifically the Zord?
I mean, I guess.
I'm happy to let it slide.
But also the bit where it stops being a gun and starts jumping around on its own. Like, that, it's the Zord. It's definitely meant to be the Zord.
Okay, but... Like, the reason I draw the line is because the Zord is a giant robot.
Yes.
But then it just has, magic shrinking legs? Like, that doesn't make any sense anymore.
It shrinks when it eats the charger.
No, that's it's horse shit one way or another. I'll say that.
Okay.
Either you're right or I'm right, and it's bullshit one of the ways.
Here's my problem.
Yeah.
They've got, 3 other giant robots that can be the base of the Megazord.
It needn't involve the T-Rex.
So they could have just gotten straight around it.
Yes.
I assume that it's just a footage issue.
Yep, probably.
But, still, just a little rough. Anyway, Tyler's about to kill Hunter. Hunter runs away.
Yep.
And then Singe gets him with one of the Zotac rings.
Yes.
Oh no! The Rangers in the Megazord use their super attack on Fury. He doesn't die, disappointingly.
Here's what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Quote. You'd think Final Strike would be more final. I feel like someone gets finally struck once or twice a week.
Yep.
No one dies
It's
ever.
very rare for them to die from it.
Like, you watch that thing happen, they load up a sword gun with 6 cartridges.
Yep.
And then shoot a laser slice through the air. Cleave someone in twain for once. I think we earn it.
The problem is, it always 100% kills the monsters of the week. And never seems to do any kind of damage
Any
to the
lasting
monsters who have to
anything.
come up next week.
Lose an arm, leave a scar.
I mean, Fury was not going to lose an arm.
Why? Give me something.
Maybe a horn?
Yeah.
A horn is something you could remove.
Give me the illusion of progress, if nothing else.
Sure. Anyway, Fury disappears at that point, because he's done with it. Tyler manages to break off this Zotac ring, but it does de-supercharge him,
Yep.
which I thought was fair.
Makes sense.
It's
It's described as sapping his power.
yeah, so it's draining all of that energy by kind of disassembling that section of his powers.
He pops down a level.
He pops down and the ring just goes away.
Seems to be fine.
Sure. Everyone goes into a warehouse, and we get a perfectly competent warehouse fight.
I gotta
TM.
say, loved the lens flares.
Yep.
There's a kind of pose shot where each of them fly kicks a Vivix and then strikes a pose, and there's a color-coded lens flare for each of them.
It's nice. It's unnecessary, but it's nice.
The cinematography, you can't say it hasn't come somewhere.
No,
in 20 years.
One of the things that the Japanese team have figured out in the last 20 years is how to make these look like they've obviously always wanted them to look.
Yes, exactly.
The only thing that they're missing that they had in the middle, they used to have coloured explosions.
You miss them, do you?
Like the Red Ranger would morph and we'd get red smoke and then an explosion.
Yeah.
I do miss it. I'm not even ashamed to say that I miss it.
That's quite alright.
It's so additionally over the top that it works for me.
I have to say, I noticed for the first time, maybe not for the first time, but more often this week and more prominently this week, some more wire work.
Yep.
Big fan, actually.
Yeah. They don't do a lot of it, but
which is as it should be.
Yeah, but when they do, it's nice. We've talked about how it just sells the idea of them being superheroes more.
Yeah.
Like, when the Mighty Morphin guys did fights, they were really only ever just, like, flipping and jump kicking.
Yeah, but in the 90s, that was what being a superhero was.
Absolutely.
So that's fine.
Was.
Like,
yeah.
we've moved up from there.
Yeah. There's one excellent bit where someone shoots a laser at Shelby.
Yeah,
and she
kicks them out of the way.
Do you know how to describe that kick?
It's like a Hapkido crescent kick.
It's like 1 foot on the ground, the other leg just goes like right up.
Yeah, it's a crescent kick.
It's a cool kick.
And she just kicks 2 like laser crossbow
that
bolts.
go flying off.
that flick off to the side. Like, it's perfect. It's so nice.
It's so insane. It's beautiful. It really is. It makes so little sense. And it's the right amount of dumb for this show.
It actually makes perfect sense, though.
It does if those are projectiles that are laser-powered, not lasers.
They come from a crossbow.
Sure.
So it makes sense that they would then, when kicked, they would behave in the way that they do, because they're like laser
But then
sticks.
do they just sit as laser sticks on the ground?
I thought they exploded.
Maybe. Look, I mean...
One or the other.
Here's the thing. If I rewatched it and they explode...
Who would be shocked?
No shocked. Anyway, so ultimately, Singe has got a thing on his arm, and he can shoot Zotac rings out of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which I assume comes when you buy a dozen Zotac rings.
Yeah,
They go in a free dispenser.
Yeah.
He gets all the Rangers'
I pictured it the other way around. You buy the dispenser and
they chuck in some rings.
Yeah,
and if you want refills for the rings,
you go and
buy them
rings,
separately. That makes sense. So he gets all the Rangers' Energems, and Tyler tries to do a morphing call, but
nothing
can't.
happens.
Last week, when Tyler morphed with the one with the virus, the announcer announced but glitched.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Which was, but also right.
Yeah, that's
I was
nice.
kind of hoping we'd get energize, and the music sag. We don't quite get that this week.
No.
The Rangers are about to die.
They should be about to die.
They should be about to die. Luckily, there's some Power Rangers who weren't there before, because there's 6,000 Power Rangers this year.
Yeah, I mean, it makes your life difficult as a bad guy when there's enough of them that they don't all have to come.
There's enough of them that there's just an auxiliary team waiting for something to go wrong.
Like, there's a reserve force all of a sudden.
It's great. It's Philip and James.
Yep.
Morphed. They show up, save the others, and run away.
Yep, pretty much.
Sure, fine.
Seems reasonable.
Alright, so Kendall's looking at the Zotac rings on the Energems.
Yep.
And she's doing some science.
Yep.
She's got
Those have capital letters.
She's got the transmuter, she twiddles some knobs.
Yep.
Keeper shows up.
Oh, man. I immediately wrote down, here comes fuckface. I'm so...
He does something at the end of this episode that is horrible.
I have more words about that.
We'll talk about that when we get to that. But this is not a good week for Keeper. And there's not a good week for Keeper.
No, in context of all the weeks for Keeper.
Yes,
this is still a terrible one.
Anyway, she tries to transmute the Zotac ring off.
Yep.
And she does. But...
cracks the red Energem in the process.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Heavy days.
The look on her face...
Yeah, she feels bad.
It's like when someone asks you to fix something on the computer and you accidentally, close their browser and you lose whatever they were working on.
Yeah.
It's just... Ooh.
No one else quite knows you've goofed yet, but you know it's gone bad.
That one... okay. So Tyler asks, well, can I still morph? And Keeper says, I mean, you could. It would be risky. We really have to stop the decay before it's irreparable.
I'll say this. Fair enough. Someone else could have said it.
Kendall definitely could have said it.
It's not like a mystical thing, like it's logical.
That's the weird thing. There's nothing Keeper does in this show that Kendall couldn't do.
Absolutely.
And, like, she could pull off some science exposition. We'd buy that she's done enough research into them to know that.
I frown when I see him, so I can't imagine what the kids feel.
Oh, I just hope he gets a badass fight at the end of the season.
No, I hope he dies.
Well, I mean, that would be the other acceptable option. Anyway, so Kendall's not sure if she can fix it because it's a gemstone,
Yep.
right? So they need heat and pressure.
Fine.
And heat and it sounds like the beat to something. I don't know. I can't explain it.
No, I understand.
So luckily we've got Geography Dad.
Geology Dad.
Well, I mean, he does both things.
Yeah, I know, but one of those is helpful right now.
Anyway, Samson Caves.
Samson Caves!
Those are the caves nearby, and there's just a lava pool there.
I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
Lava is heat.
Yep.
Not quite pressure.
Well, there is pressure where he goes.
Well, okay, that's fair. In the end, I'll give it to you.
Now, to the show's credit, we've seen this lava pool before. In
Have
the
we?
very first episode of the show, Tyler went there looking for his dad. It's where he found the red ender gem.
Okay, so... Man, that's remarkable consistency for a Power Rangers show.
It's not pulled out, what happens next is ridiculous. But the location itself does exist and was previously established.
Yeah, good.
Which is basically all you can ever ask for.
Yeah,
in
as
this
it
show.
as it should be.
Anyway, Tim, at this point you said, and I wrote down, stop flirting with your dad.
Yeah, okay, so
It's
listen.
a little like that.
Here's what
isn't it?
happens. They drive there in Tyler's Jeep.
Yep.
And they jump out, and James is like, tired triple butterfly hitch.
Alpine butterfly.
Alpine
it's
butterfly.
a real type of knot.
I'm sure it is. See, and I'll just jump in and say that's what Power Rangers has been missing for a long time.
Alpine butterfly knots.
Alpine butterfly knots.
Gay dads.
Gay dads. And just like a fucking shred of research.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just like 5 seconds, like abseiling knots. And then there, you have your answer.
Oh, you mean not me going tie a triple slip hitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a real answer instead
Someone
of
spending
bullshit.
30 seconds to look it up.
But so Tyler responds Tyler cuts him off and is like, yeah, I know. It's not like I haven't done this before. And they share this look
I mean...
that like maybe if there was an age difference would be more of a dad situation.
It's weird because he's trying to play it as I'm your dad, but because they're basically the same age.
And there's just something about the boyish way he grins and then the fact that they're just sort of two similarly aged adult men is like, are they
Are
they gonna fuck in the cave?
We're constantly reading homosexual subtext into the show that isn't there. Or if this show is just... I think here's the thing. Because this show is so completely asexual...
Friendly men seem gay.
Yeah, because that's about the same level of flirting that Tyler and Shelby have done.
Yeah.
And they're probably the show's official couple.
Yeah.
So, as soon as two guys are doing it, it's like, okay, that would be the level that two people would be gay on this show.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But don't fuck your dad. Like, I know who
that's
was...
officially Ranger Danger endorsed advice.
Don't
guys.
fuck your dad.
Don't fuck your dad.
Even if he leaves you for 10 years and then comes back and he's like, ooh, hot dad's back.
I'm going to say, especially.
Especially.
Hashtag don't fuck your dad.
If you're gonna fuck any dad, fuck a dad who's present.
There's so many other people's dads you could fuck.
That's true.
Right? Only one is yours.
Only one dad well, actually, 1 or 2 dads in the entire world are yours.
I guess potentially up to 4. If you had 2 gay dads who got divorced and remarried.
They're not your real dad.
You heard it here first, guys. That's where the line gets drawn. Gay stepdads, those are not your real dads. Gay dads, fine. Stepdads, fine. Gay stepdads, cross the line. It even rhymes.
Oh man, if you guys... Well, look, we'll put that in the show notes if you ever find yourself struggling to remember what kind of dads are real dads. Yeah, there's a helpful little rhyme to help you along.
Gay dad's fine. Stepdad's fine.
Gay stepdads across the line. So they go into the
That
cave.
might be the furthest we've ever gone on this podcast.
So they go into the cave.
Yeah, okay.
They abseil down into the cave. And sexy cave dad becomes nervous cave dad. And he's like, Tyler, you'll hurt yourself in these caves. You're still my 8-year-old son. Which, honestly, I think is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
That's a pretty well-documented, like, dad phenomenon.
Yeah, that's definitely hashtag dad trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's fine.
So they put the energem into the lava,
They just, like, put it on the end of a stick and dip it in.
more or less.
Which is heat but not pressure, like I was saying.
Anyway, it doesn't work. It actually makes the crack bigger.
Which is a sensible thing to happen.
Because, as Tyler says, we need to go hotter.
Yeah.
And given the previous context...
Well, yeah, but he could have said we need to go deeper. So
that would have been worse.
so it's really the lesser of two gay evils.
That's Tim's autobiography coming soon.
It's true.
Oh, so he's got a theory. He can use Dino Armor X. If he burrows down with it, the further down you go, the hotter and the more pressure the lava will have.
That's true.
Therefore, maybe that'll fix it. And Tyler's dad is like, but it's dangerous. And Tyler's like, dude, I'm a Power Ranger. I've fought one giant monster every week for the past 30 weeks straight.
Give me a break.
Just let me, like... To be fair, it would be embarrassing for a Power Ranger to die of lava.
Yeah, it's a shit way to go.
Right? When you fight a monster every week.
Yeah, like a city leveling monster every week.
To go out just because you got near some hot rocks.
Samson Caves, though. Dangerous.
Anyway, so, Tyler's dad says, alright, go, but I'll be right here.
Now, what did you expect to happen?
Him to do it?
Because I expected him to, like, walk off.
Oh, no.
Go down a cave. Like, maybe...
No, Tim. Dino Armor X goes directly down.
Yeah, it's like playing... Did you ever play Motherlode?
No, I don't know
It was
what
like
that is.
an in-browser mining game.
No.
Where you drilled down and, like, got ore and then brought it back up and sold it to upgrade your
I
drill.
didn't play that, but I've played enough games that are like that to know
Yeah,
what you're talking
and
about.
there's a shot like that where you see a cross-section of the Earth.
Yep.
And him just burrowing down directly vertically through it.
Yep. He
And
does
then the tunnel caves in behind him.
that. Basically,
Whoops.
Yep. So that's a problem. The suit can withstand a lot of heat,
Yep.
but it's still very hot there.
Yes.
Okay.
Like in the center of the Earth. That's fair enough.
That's fair enough. So, oh no, Tim, there's aliens coming.
Alien biosigns.
So, Philip and Kendall say, like, we're still Power Rangers.
We're hot to go.
We'll go help him out.
Yep.
You guys stay here. And they're like, well, why are we staying here? And they point out, well, still Power Rangers.
Energems
You guys,
don't work. It's not safe.
Yeah.
Seems sensible.
Yeah. We see a shot of their energems. I'm sure we see Tyler's still there.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I certainly wasn't paying
Maybe
enough
it's
attention.
pink and the light is weird.
Yeah.
But, I'd have to recheck. But it just hit me because I was, counting them in my head. And I think there was an extra one.
In their defense, it's really not worth editing out, is it?
Not really. Okay, so the auxiliary rangers morph.
Yep.
And they kind of start that fight. Back at the base, we see, the rangers who are left having a conversation about, we've been left behind, I feel really bad, they're going to struggle. And Shelby, who is a troublemaker, God bless her, says, no, you know what? Even though we don't have our powers...
We're still Rangers.
We're still Rangers. Both linguistically and metaphorically.
Irresponsible, though.
So they say, look, let's go and do... We'll help.
We'll do something.
Whatever we can do. I really like that beat.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a really, it's an important thing to sell because you don't want to tell kids that the only way they can be heroes is if they have
magic powers.
You want to say to them, no, just do the right thing.
And it's always been a present message, has been it comes up a lot. Like we're still Rangers.
Yes.
In the face of various adversities.
Yeah. It's nice. So they run into Hunter. And we get what I was not expecting. An unmorphed fight
monster
between the 5 of them and a monster.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Super cool.
Excellent.
Coda does like a flying wire punch.
Yep.
Nice.
Coda's the best.
Coda's the best.
But just, I mean, look, they get lasered pretty quickly.
But they hold their own as a group.
For long
enough, yeah.
That I kind of would have liked to have seen that be the plot outside this episode, so it could have gotten a bit more time. Because, like, a good 5-minute unmorphed ranger against monster fight
would be pretty cool.
Would be cool. But, you know, oh well. We don't have time for that shit because we've got so much other shit to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sin shows up at the cave.
Mm-hmm.
All the auxiliary rangers are fighting the monsters, but Singe is pretty bad news.
Yes.
He's so cool.
He is pretty cool,
He's pretty cool. So he's about to destroy the other rangers.
Yep.
When Tyler rockets up from the ground.
Yeah, just burrows straight up.
Of course, you know,
beautiful
science. He's in his Dino Armor X, but he drops that and goes into supercharge.
Makes sense.
Yep. He manages to destroy the Zotac ring controller.
Yep.
So the Energims are all free now.
Yep. Thank golly gosh.
So the Rangers back at the other fight, they can morph now.
Yes.
And it's time for them to do their cheerleading attack.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to describe this attack?
Bullshit.
Okay.
I can't remember who is where.
Okay, so it's, I think, Coda and Riley on the bottom, standing up.
Yep.
And then Chase and Shelby on their shoulders.
Standing on their shoulders.
And, like, holding hands to brace themselves.
Pretty much.
So they're, like, in a square.
Yep.
And they all shoot their guns towards the middle.
Picture the Death Star.
Yeah, like lasers combining.
And then... God, what's his name?
Ivan.
And then Ivan flies through, like, leaps through the doorway that they create with their bodies with his sword, collecting their guns' energies from the, like, central whirlpool and flying forward to do a sword strike.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
nonsense.
I don't want to love it, but I just do.
Yeah, it's just... The problem is, again, as we've said multiple times, there's too many attacks. Like, they've got...
I don't think there's too many attacks. I think there's too many capital A attacks.
Yeah, like...
And everything has a name, and everything is a specific thing, and nothing is a way of using tools. It's a button you press.
Yeah, none of them get to feel special because there's too many.
But
and
also like that, but also like if you think of something like Dragon Ball Z, lots of things, like there's heaps of moves with names in that, but there's also heaps of people just have established abilities, and they use them in different ways.
There's one thing that we see later where, I mean, no spoilers, but Tyler uses 2 different weapons to achieve an effect.
Yes.
And that effect is a logical output of what you could do with those 2 things
together. Yeah.
And it alone is cooler than this just because it makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's not about having attacks that have names and shoot a laser, because half of them do the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
It should be about everyone has things they can do, and what do we see them do with those things.
Yeah, I agree. So Hunter's dead.
Yeah, Hunter gets wrecked.
There goes Hunter. Oh, alright. So, we get my favourite bit of Power Ranger morphed smack talk ever.
Oh yeah, this is good.
This is phenomenal. So Singe says, "You trashed my controller, I'll trash you." And one of the other Rangers says to him, "Save your trash talk."
Already a good pun.
Tyler adds, "For garbage day."
Ruined.
Excellent. At that point, all the guys in the rap battle just go, "Oh!" And that guy does that thing where he puts his hands on his head and, like, you know, you know that gif. That happens.
That happens.
Anyway, Singe does have a sword. We hadn't really seen it properly before, but this week we see
it comes out.
An actual sword. Looks like a really long candle.
It's pretty cool, though.
Surprise!
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I like Singe. So at this point, this episode goes bonkers.
Yeah.
Now,
it really takes a turn.
I knew about this power-up.
Yes.
And I knew it had alternate modes.
Yes.
I was expecting Tyler uses one this week. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks,
We see different ones
we
pop
see
up.
different ones. I was not expecting 4 in 1 week.
In a row.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. When Tyler is in supercharge mode, his body ostensibly is like the Megazord.
Yes.
Right? It's the Megazord combining with him.
Yep.
One of the things the Megazord can do
Is combined with other
is
Zords.
combined with the other Zords. So one of the things Tyler can do in supercharge mode is combine with everyone's weapons and use them as his arms.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Super cool.
So good. So he starts with blue and pink, which is nice because that was the first Megazord formation
Yes.
we saw. So he's got a drill and a shield,
Yep.
and he just like attacks with them. His boots become the right color.
Yep.
He's the Megazord. He's a Power Ranger Megazord.
Pretty freaking cool.
I'm amazed it took 20 years for that, but excellent, great, on board. So now, Aqua and Pink. So now he's got the drill and the hammer. And this is the part we were talking about before. He uses the drill, he shoots some rocks into the air, he uses the hammer,
To beat
hits
the
them
rocks
into the
forward.
enemies.
Awesome.
Yep.
I will say, after the second or third or fourth time, I am sick of watching the morphing sequence.
Because here's the problem. After he does each one, we get a shot of him wearing these ridiculous arm gauntlet
Weapons,
things,
yeah.
holding energems somehow, and having to load them into his gun to do the next one.
It's a little odd.
It's a little over the top.
I kind of would have liked to see more participation from the Rangers that he's borrowing from.
Agreed.
But I wonder if forcing that prevents you from doing it when the people aren't around.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe that's too much, you know? But yeah, I agree. Some sort of, if they got to throw your energems
so that it
or
felt
something.
like teamwork.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. He says more phenomenal.
He does.
That might be the first time in 20 years anyone on this show has said more phenomenal.
Might be the first time in 20 years anyone on the planet, other than us or anyone else doing a Power Rangers podcast, has said it.
I kind of love it.
It's good.
He couldn't get away with saying it every week.
No, but chuck it in occasionally.
But once a season after he's become a Megazord with dinosaur arms,
Seems like an appropriate time.
that's more phenomenal. So he does Aqua Graphite,
Yeah.
and those are his hammer and ball hammer.
Yeah.
And that mode is just all about just beating the shit out of enemies.
Understandable.
So I don't know why he doesn't just do that mode all the time.
Yeah, because that seemed good.
Hammer and Wrecking Ball mode sounds like a good mode.
Yeah.
And then green and black, he's got a gun and a sword.
Yep.
Excellent. One last gun attack, he blows up Singe. Singe isn't dead, but
He's out for now.
He's out for now. Singe calls him a walking carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's a Sentai reference, probably.
I hope so.
I mean, it would be.
I
a
hope
weird,
it's not a weird
It
accident.
would be a weird coincidence. Anyway, back at the base. No, sorry, back at the ship now.
Yeah.
So Sledge is just Singe. He's just napping in Fury's cell
Yeah,
again,
he's doing the, like one of your French girls, lie down.
which I suspect is just the only way that costume can lie down
Yeah,
and still be
probably.
able to stand up.
Yeah.
But Fury comes in and he's like, "Why are you sleeping in my bunk? I'll have to sleep in my bunk with you."
Hey.
No, he's not happy. Heckle locks them in together and makes quite a sensible little speech about how the Rangers really, it helps them when we fight.
When they infight.
So let's not do that. Let's just work together. And if you can't learn to work together, then you can't work with me.
Fair enough.
Yep, I'm on board with that. So back at the base, someone asked Tyler what it looks like down under all that lava. Tyler says, "I'm glad you asked." Why is he glad, Tim?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he took a lava selfie.
Maybe he took a lava selfie.
Guess what?
He took a lava selfie?
took a lava
He took a
selfie.
lava selfie. Oh boy. Riley, I think, lampshades. I don't understand how you survive the heat. It's actually impossible. It's too hot. He's doing calculations in his head. It's just... And Tyler says, "It's amazing how the impossible becomes the possible when you have so much to lose."
I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know if it does either. And then Keeper ruins everything.
Oh, man.
This is horrible.
This is
isn't it?
actually heartbreaking.
So everyone kind of parts.
Yep.
Now, I mentioned last week a quick summary of The Flash. The aim of the first season of The Flash, the thing The Flash was trying to do, was prove that his father didn't kill his mother
Okay.
and get his father out of prison.
Okay.
That kind of happened at the start of the second season. So his father was freed from prison, and then his father kind of just left the show.
Right.
And has come back twice or three times, but said, like, look, I've been in prison for a decade. I need to go, like, you're an adult. You will be fine without me. You've got
Yep.
another family now.
Yep.
I need to just go figure out what my life is.
Yep.
But I'm always there if you need me.
Yep.
I said to Matt last week, I kind of hope James does a Flash.
Right, okay.
James does a Flash. But it's worse.
It's way worse.
Because Keeper has been talking to James. And Keeper has convinced him that because James has got geology and geography and science skills, he would be useful going to try and find the silver energem. So he's just going to go do that.
Here's what this is. I've been missing for 10 years.
Yep.
Looking after one of your magic rocks.
Yep.
I finally showed up.
Yep.
And I have to now leave my son
Yep.
to go find another one of your magic rocks because you are a fucking moron and couldn't keep a hold of them because you gave them to dinosaurs.
Now, here's the problem, right? Aside from... Okay, the first problem is Keeper talking a dude's dad into that is unacceptable.
Yeah, it's gross.
Like, no, you can't be friends with your dad. Your dad has to go run an errand for me, the space alien who got you all into this shit.
Me, fuckface.
Right? It's just... It's like...
It's too far.
Why James? Why couldn't the Xandar guys go do it? Why
Because
couldn't-
that wouldn't ruin a family.
Right?
So
it's
just not going to fly.
Second of all, they've got a spaceship.
And they've got a science base.
Third of all, they've built a device that could find energems before.
Oh, God,
and
really?
although it got destroyed, they could
Build
just
another
build
one.
another one. 4 or whatever number I'm up to. Keeper can teleport!
Scumdog.
Well, okay, here's a pitch, right? James and Tyler, both of whom have quite good hunting and science and outback skills,
Yeah.
go together
Yeah.
to find the energy.
Father-son bonding mission.
If they ever need him, they could use one of their many giant robots to get him back. And in the meantime, the 36 of them that are left
Would be fine.
would be fine without him.
Oh, Keeper.
It's just
You steaming pile of
it just
shit.
exists to get James out of the show until he probably comes back for the finale or once and then the finale, right? I understand that.
Yeah, sure. But that's someone's dad, man.
Right? It's so low. I didn't like Keeper before, but
He hadn't earned it until now.
it needed to be sold as, listen, I was talking to Keeper. I know about the last Energem.
It makes sense for me to go.
I think I can find it. Stay here with your friends, right? Make
Yeah.
it James's decision to leave.
And for him to have... For
He
it to
makes
make
it-
sense for him to believe, like, this
No.
is your family.
Yeah, you are my son, and I will come back and we will bond. But first of all, we're immortal, so we can do that forever.
We got time, don't
We
worry.
got time. Second of all, I know you've done fine without me. Now you know I'm alive, right? You know I'm okay. Let me go find that. When we find that, we're done.
Yeah.
Right? Because he said once we've got all 10 Energems, Keeper takes them, Keeper fucks off.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope so.
Right? So, like, that's the play.
Yes.
Is James has
There's
decided...
an end in sight.
I'm gonna finish this.
So that I can go back with my family.
You stay here and stay with your friends and protect the world.
Yes.
I'll wrap it up, and then we can be together.
Not my boss said I have to go on a business trip. After 10 years of not seeing my son. What about Tyler's fucking mother, by the way?
Oh, that's a whole other issue. I'm hoping she's the Silver Ranger.
I hope she's
We've never
dead
seen
just
it
so that she
before.
doesn't have to suffer this fucking...
Tyler hasn't mentioned her and was very much like on the road
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So it's possible that she's not in the picture.
maybe she's a Megazord.
Okay.
Maybe Keeper is Tyler's mum.
I mean, here's the thing. Nothing they can do can make me more angry about Keeper than I currently am.
I cannot believe it.
This is just too far
Yeah.
for E.T. Why can't he go look?
Because he's useless.
That's fair.
He can't do anything.
Anyway, let's move on, otherwise I'm going to go insane.
Tyler and Jimbo take a dad selfie.
End of
He
episode.
says, I know it's not the center of the earth, but this one means more because I haven't seen you for 10 years and you're leaving again because an alien told you to. Bye, Dad. Love you. Fuck off, Keeper.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty angry at Keeper, I've got to be honest.
Yep.
Alright, why don't we do the Ranger Danger Dino Charge creature feature?
Let's do it.
Alright, we ranked Hunter last week.
Okay, how do you do?
So he was number 9, which was a strong showing for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this episode doesn't particularly do much.
Do you feel like someone below him ought to jump up, or does he maintain his standing?
No, everyone below him is kind of
Shit.
less cool than him.
I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked his design. I liked his machete. I liked his head tentacles.
He's a well-rounded monster that's got a couple of things going on. I think I'm perfectly happy leaving him at number 9 this week.
Yep.
Alright, how about Fantasy Zordon, Tim?
Pretty slow week for me.
I had a lucky week because the Aqua Ranger had a good couple of things.
Well, I mean, you'd hope so.
But he's probably not going to be in the show ever again. So,
Well, no, not if Keeper has anything to do with it.
I will say before we go on,
Yep.
we're counting being part of T-Rex Supercharge mode
Yes.
as a combination weapon.
Which is only logical, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the reasonable solution. So, Tim, how did your guys go? Let's start with Coda. How
Okay,
did the
so-
Blue Ranger go?
Coda was part of one of the combination weapons.
Yep,
He was in a Megazord formation.
yep,
And he entered a power-up mode.
yep.
So that's a total of 6 points for Coda.
Okay, nice.
Riley was in a combo weapon and a power-up mode, so 4 points for him.
Yep,
And Prince Philip
yep.
was in 2 combination weapons, so that's 4 points from him. So that's a total of 14 for my team,
Yep.
which isn't terrible.
And sorry, nothing for Kendall this week?
No, Kendall
She shows up and she fights.
Kendall was present but didn't tick any boxes
no,
this week.
that's a shame for her, but that's okay. Alright, so a total of 14.
14, so not bad,
Well,
but
I think I might have evened the score a little this week.
okay.
So Chase, much like Riley, was just in a combination weapon and a power-up mode.
Yep.
So that's 4 points for him. Shelby was in 2 of the different combination weapons.
She was.
And also a Megazord and a power-up mode. So that's 8
that's a good
points for
week.
her.
Yep.
The Aqua Ranger, James, he was in 2 of the combination weapons again.
Yep.
And he also got to deliver the morphing call when the auxiliary guys morphed.
He did.
So that was 7 for him.
Would
And
you say he learned a valuable lesson?
I don't think so. Not in a capital letters learned a valuable lesson way.
No, I suppose not.
I hope he comes back and learns the lesson that Keeper's the worst, but
I think a case could be made that he learned that he was needed somewhere else.
I mean, look, when we've given points for that before, it's been obviously the thrust of the episode.
That's true.
And I don't think that's what this one is quite about.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I'm fine with leaving that. And my ever unpresent Silver Ranger,
One day, though, man.
I mean,
One day.
there's only 14 episodes of this show left.
Yeah, but, like, how many are we in?
26?
Yeah, but... He'll be here in, like, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that might be about right, because that'd be about the mid-season finale, so that's probably when he does show
He's
up.
coming.
Alright,
Now that we've tossed James to the wayside, he'll be back.
so let's talk scores.
Yeah.
As I mentioned last week, we've got about 20 people playing Fantasy Zordon with us this season.
Cool bananas.
So the range of scores at the moment,
Uh-huh.
the lowest score anyone has is 110.
Okay.
The highest score anyone has is 128.
Okay.
So there's not
It's pretty
really,
tight.
There's not really that many in it. And as usual, we're pretty much in the dead center.
Okay.
Your team has got 117.
Okay.
I've pulled into the lead slightly,
Right, okay.
120.
Interesting.
Now, here's the thing. I've had 2 good weeks with the Aqua Ranger.
Yes.
But I suspect he'll be earning me just his standard 2 points every week
not
from here
showing
on
up.
out.
Yeah.
So I think that in the next couple of weeks that'll settle down.
I suppose we'll see, yeah.
And then if the Silver Ranger doesn't show up soon, you guys could pull ahead, again quite a bit. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Can I ask, can you tell me who the winning team is?
The best, like the
Yeah.
top team currently. The top current team that someone has is black, pink, purple, and graphite. So it's actually my main guys and your auxiliary guys.
Interesting.
And I think that's the best possible team at the moment. Let me check. Black, pink, purple. Oh no, the best possible team, which no one has, would be black, pink, purple, and aqua.
Right, but I can't imagine that would be true for long. I guess it depends what showing Silver has.
Again, it depends what happens with aqua, what happens with silver, which of your guys stick around and who don't.
Yeah.
Like who gets a spotlight episode. If there's another... Next week's episode is called Home Run Coda. So
Hey,
that's
hello.
going to be a good week for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just really, it's neck and neck. And over the next 14 episodes,
We'll
as
see
we
how it
saw
plays
last
out.
season, it can just go either
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
So we'll be back. I think there's a new episode next week. I'm not certain. I'll have to check.
Is there a reason there wouldn't be?
It's Nickelodeon.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not sure. So if there is, we'll be back next week with Home Run Coda.
Yes.
And as usual, Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger on Wednesdays.
Correct, Amundo.
I'm not sure what episode that is, but I guarantee you it's an okay one. I mean, I can't guarantee it's a great one. We've had some pretty bad ones recently.
That is true.
Anyway, we will see you guys next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye, everyone.
See you, pals.